Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. As you can see from the title below, breaking news. Tyson Fury signs to face Deontay Wilder in Trilogy matchup, July 24th, 2021. That's official. That's got paperwork. That's signed by Tyson Fury. And we know that Deontay Wilder wants the third fight. We know that despite what people on YouTube and Facebook and in caves have been believing, Deontay Wilder has certainly wanted a third fight with Tyson Fury. Ever since the second fight, he's been wanting to fight Tyson Fury. And the powers that be thought that they could make all the excuses up in the world, talk about expired contracts, talk about how Deontay Wilder was a crazy man, talk about Anthony Joshua fighting on August the 14th, even though they all damn well knew there was an arbitration, and lead the fans up the garden path. The mainstream media included in that long tail of lies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a special welcome to those on BWTM Africa and BWTM Sports Gaming and BWTM Online. Second shout out to those people out there that have been on our online store and have invested. Really, really thank you. Special shout out to my good brother, Piotr, who has invested and has supported the channel by getting himself a tracksuit top. Shout out to Piotr for that. So, world-class guests on BWTM Sports. Now, they haven't been on recently at times, but we were going to start having them back on. But what I don't understand, what befuddles me is this. I am sitting in my room behind the keyboard. Okay, behind the keyboard, as some would say, behind the keyboard, don't know anything. My brother Chris, he's in America. He does strength. He's a strength and conditioning coach. Now, we both are not the biggest promoters in the world of boxing. You know, we don't command that sort of power that they do in that sport, in the sport of boxing. But you tell me how one of the most powerful promoters in world boxing did not know that Tyson Fury was in an arbitration and did not know that it would go in the favor of Deontay Wilder. But yet still, you're running around the world telling the people that this Joshua fight is going to happen. And shame on you people that believe this was going to happen. We told you over and over again, there's an arbitration. This guy's gone to court. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The Joshua fight will push through. The thing is, the same people that will come on the channel and talk about judges being corrupt and their fighters being robbed and talk about the corruption in the sport are the same people that were begging, gagging for Deontay Wilder to be pushed to one side, for that contract to be ignored, and that Joshua Fury should happen. I don't care if Wilder got beat in 2 fights, as far as you're concerned. I don't care. It was a 3-fight contract a 3-fight deal. And that contract should be honored. Should be honored. And it's a shame that people have decided not to honor the contract. We have called it, and it's a disgrace. And you boxing fans who were pushing for this fight and wanting to basically follow the cabal of corruption should be ashamed of yourselves. Should really take a deep look at yourself and say, well, if this was my fighter, would I want his contract to have expired? In the sense that, would I want these things to have happened? The lies they put about this man, the lies. And you all sat back quite comfortably believing in Hearn. When I told you about Eddie Hearn, I told you this guy could not be trusted. This is the second super fight that Hearn has been involved with, and it's been nothing but BS. If you're not an attention-seeking, a deluded attention seeker, I don't know what it is. Because people, if I were to go around and start saying Joshua Fury, if I did it on my channel, I'd get absolutely destroyed. I got absolutely destroyed for having a fake person on the channel, right? Impersonating somebody else. So how people can let Eddie Hearn off the hook for this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right? And it just seems to me that it seems strategic to me. It looks like, well, you know what? Fury Joshua's not going to happen because this arbitration is going to happen, and Deontay Wilder is going to happen. So what can I do for the next 3, 4, however months it is to get myself in the limelight even more so, keep the spotlight on me, and then sell Joshua versus Usyk? I told you. Look at what's going with Usyk and Joyce. If Usyk and Joyce are not going anywhere, if there's no progress there, then you know that Fury and Wilder are going to fight. And you all didn't get it. You didn't get the big hints that were being dropped right in front of your face. An eye for an eye. When Ida said an eye for an eye, a gaza. I said to you all, if he's talking about revenge and the way he was doing that pad work, the energy and the intensity he was putting in that pad work, it seemed to me like a man who was just motivated for revenge. And this is a different kind of revenge. And I'll keep on saying over and over again. I'll come to Tyson Fury in a minute. Over and over. And people here love to defend Hearn. They love to defend Hearn. Hearn could literally come into your room, into your house, take everything from your house and come out of it, right? And you would accept it. If Al Heyman came into your house and did the same thing, you'd have a problem with Al Heyman, half of you. So I don't want to hear what half of you got to say, to half of you. But anyway, got me off course now. But my point is this. What has happened has been an absolute slap in the face to all lamestream media. All you who want to go by sources. I told you, the media that we've got, that you love looking into and you love watching all the time, and you come on to us and keep rubbishing the alternative media. These media outlets, for the most part, are controlled, or they're bought, or they're paid for by the promoters. They're not going to tell you that, but these are the facts. These are the facts. Now, I'll come on to Tyson Fury. People saying, no, we don't want it. Why didn't you all, when there was that gap, when Pulev was fighting Joshua, why didn't you push for Tyson Fury to fight Deontay Wilder? Had he fought Deontay Wilder all the way back then, when Joshua was fighting Pulev, we wouldn't have this mess right now. So don't be coming to me about it. Blame Tyson Fury, or more or less, blame Bob Arum. Those are the people you need to be looking at. Fury, Arum, I don't know about what Warren is, but Arum's the guy you need to be looking at there. That's the person you need to look at right there. That's the person you need to look at. Don't be saying, "Oh, we don't want this fight." If you didn't want this fight, you should have vocalized and said, "Look, Tyson, take that third fight with Wilder, get that fight out of the way, and in the summer of 2021, you fight Joshua." No, you didn't do that. You sat back and you waited, and you trusted in HEARN. We trust, but this is what happened. And as he said, pardon my French, on this channel in an interview, he's a bullshitter with a smile. That's what he said directly on this channel when I interviewed him, within the first minute of me interviewing the guy. And anybody who comes up within the first 30 seconds to a minute of an interview and tells you you're bullshit with a smile, take it as gospel. He's a promoter. He's not a preacher. He's not God. He's a human being like everyone else. And I don't understand why this guy can talk all the crap he talks and just get away with it scot-free. How you, one of the biggest promoters in the world, did not know that Deontay Wilder was in arbitration? You mean you didn't hear on the grapevine that contract hadn't expired? Are you trying to tell me that? I mean, the Hearns once said, I think it was Barry Hearn that said that boxing fans are mugs. Well, this is the perfect platform to explain how much mugs boxing fans are. I mean, you start putting things together and thinking, Joyce, Usyk, that's not happening. Usyk's talking about, the potential of him fighting Joshua, and his people are talking about it. Derek Chisora looks you in your face and tells you, not going to happen this year. Then Aaron starts talking about, Deontay Wilder's looking like potentially like a good, and the arbitration was going on. And if you remember way back when Wilder did that interview with Brian Custer, said to you, I don't want to hear anything about Fury and Joshua until we get this Wilder thing sorted. So I don't want anybody coming on this channel trying to tell me any crap, because you, for the most of you, were part of the corrupt cabal. If people were meant to get arrested based on the fact of supporting illegal actions because there was a contract in place, you all would have damn well got arrested. And the thing about boxing fans, they're the biggest hypocrites in the world. Because if you had a contract for your job and some guy came in and said, you know what, screw your contract, and it does happen. It does happen in the corporate world. It does happen in business world. Screw your contract for 1 second. We're going to do this instead. You wouldn't be happy. Taking food off your table. I don't care if Wilder got beat the crap out in the second fight. I don't care. But I'm going to come and tell you this as well. There's a difference between when you get beat, okay? There's a difference between when you get beat, right? And a lot of people who have not competed don't understand this. There's a difference when you get beat and then you feel there's some underhanded crap that's been going on. And then not only the underhanded crap you think that's gone on, that it's actually been proven to you. So wait, you the same people that are there that saying, Wilder's a madman. Okay, no apology from you lot, by the way. No apology. And that Wilder's contract expired. Again, no apology from you lot. We can continue. Now, oh, well, Wilder must have lied about the gloves. And Wilder must, wait on a second. First of all, it wasn't Wilder's fight that this happened in the first place, because he wasn't one saying he didn't want the fight. A lot of you were saying Wilder didn't want the fight, but the contract was in place. So once you've got a contract in place, nobody on YouTube, no promoter should really be having anything to say about, yes, we'll honour that contract. I don't care if the man got beat twice. That's not my business. That's not your business. At the end of the day, there is a contract. It is a trilogy. If you can't count, that's fine. It's a trilogy. 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. I never knew 1, 2. It mean 3. 3 fights. I don't care. There's a contract that needs to be honoured. I don't care. And if Wilder comes back, if he comes back in his third fight, makes adjustments, and knocks Tyson Fury out, what are you going to say then? What will be the excuse then? What are you going to say? And boxing fans, again, are the biggest hypocrites in the world, because they're going to tell you that this fight, nobody's interested in. I guarantee you, this fight will get sold out. This fight will be sold out because it's based on genuine needle, genuine bad blood, contracts, lies. You lied about me. You lied about the gloves, or you did what you did injustice to me. It's hype, but it's real stuff. But you will quite happily sit down on Saturday night to watch one guy who's guaranteed to win a fight and another guy who hasn't got a chance, and they two will hype it up, and you'll sat down on Saturday night and you'll clap for that and you'll tune in for that. But you won't tune in for Wilder versus Fury on a third fight where the man is trying to make the adjustments. And that's another thing about boxing fans. Sick and tired of boxing fans that look at Deontay Wilder and say, Wilder, he's only got a big right hand. Now the man is actually trying to make improvements. You're not actually looking and saying, you know what? This guy's actually trying to make improvements. No, because you're blind again. Just like you're blind about Fury versus Joshua, and I feel no sympathy for you and serves you right. If now Wilder turns around and absolutely knocks Fury cold, the signs were there. The guy's improving. He's making the effort to improve. And who doesn't want a story of a guy getting beaten up and demoralized and coming back and becoming champion again? Oh, so when Ali got beat by Leon Spinks, Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali. That's the end of it. And he came back to beat Leon Spinks. When Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Hasim Rahman, and then he turned around and he knocked Rahman out to regain the title. What about that? What about that? Where is the room for people to become legends? Because some of you are boxing fanatics, but you're not boxing fans. There's a difference. Boxing fanatics don't care about the sport. Boxing fans do. Boxing fanatics crave blood, but they don't understand the sweet science. Boxing fans do. Boxing fans will look at legacy, look at legends, look at history. Boxing fanatics don't. And if you really care about the sport and you talk about corruption, you should be the first wanting this fight to happen. Blame Aaron, blame Fury for not wanting to take the third fight of Wilder when they should have taken the fight, when they could have taken the fight. Joshua fought Pulev. What's the problem? What's the problem? I don't understand it. Yep, Patterson, Johansson too. Great fights. Great fights. So you would rather a man, and again, I would say this. I believe, personally, with the way Deontay Wilder's energy is, the way he's training, the things he's coming out, and he's talking about eye for eye, because a lot of you have demonized Deontay Wilder and have assassinated this character. Watch the words I'm using carefully. Assassinated this character, demonize this character. This is something that you do all the time. The media, the biased media. Because you've done that, people can't look and say, this guy's improving. Because you're too caught up in, he's got one right hand and he's a windmill. If he knocks Tyson Fury out and he's able to do that, he can drop Fury. He can put Fury down. He's got the power to do it. If he can get his distance right, if he can get his timing right, and Fury's been out of the ring now a year and a bit now. He's been out since what? The last time they fought is the last time he fought Fury. It's the last time Wilder's fought as well. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. He's been trained by Malik Scott. You've got to start somewhere. But from what I've seen of Malik Scott, in my eyes, what I've seen of Malik Scott, and what I've seen of what Mark Breland had all those years to do with him, I've never seen Wilder put combinations together like that. I've never seen Wilder move his head the way he's moved his head. That's what I see on the videos. I've never seen Wilder do those things. So don't come to me and tell me about no damn Mark Breland. Because we can talk about how great a fighter is, but now we're talking about him as a trainer. And I'm just looking at what I see. Wilder doesn't listen. Wilder doesn't want to learn. Seems to me that Wilder does seem to want to listen, does want to learn. And it's not the first time that good friends have turned around and ended up training and working with one another. Hay and Chisora, it's working okay in England for me. Seems to be doing okay, those two. Howard Eastman, for those of you that can go back a bit in boxing. Howard Eastman, when he knocked out Rob McCracken. Was it? Yeah. And then Rob McCracken ended up training Howard Eastman. I mean, things happen. Things happen. So, things happen. Congratulations, by the way, to Josh Taylor, undisputed champion of the world. Surely has to be one of the greatest British fighters. And I have to say, when you talk about Carl Froch was never undisputed. He was never number one in the world. He was number two to Andre Ward. But Josh Taylor is numero uno, number one. He's right up there. He's right up there in terms of British boxing. He's right up there. Right up there. He's right up there. What Ben Davis has done with Josh Taylor, I have to say, the move he made is quite reminiscent of how Emmanuel Stewart used to work. Emmanuel Stewart would only work with certain types of fighters. He'd work with guys. Watch Emmanuel Stewart's record as he came into his own. Watch sort of guys Emmanuel Stewart worked with. He worked with former world champions or guys who had incredibly good talent. Incredibly good talent. So Josh Taylor, you've got to give him kudos. He fought in the Ali tournament, the Super Series, boxing series. He did that World Boxing Super Series. You've got to give him credit. He is one of the greatest British fighters, and he is an absolute, now for me, boxing legend in British circles. And he's done it. So what I would love to see is Josh Taylor versus Crawford, undisputed versus undisputed. That would have been great. That would have been great. Undisputed versus undisputed at the time. Because obviously Crawford's moved up in weight now. I get that. But he was a former undisputed in that weight division. I'd like to see both of them fight together. I'd like to see those two guys fight. Taylor and Crawford. I think that'd be a super great fight. Great fight. Would love to see. I don't want to see Taylor fight. There's a guy in England, they're trying to get Josh Taylor to fight. I don't want to see British guy. I don't want to see. He's beyond that level now. So he needs to be fighting just super fights now, Josh Taylor. Just pure super fights. That's it. But I will say this much. If you all can sit here and watch that Deontay Wilder fight, the second fight, and you could tell me he looked right from the first bell, he didn't. His legs did not look right from under him from bell one. So yeah, Catterall, I like Jack Catterall. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a good boxer. But I don't want to see Josh Taylor fight Jack Catterall. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that fight. I like Jack Catterall. I don't want to see that fight. Sorry. No, don't want to see it. For what reason? Jack Catterall. Who wants to see him fight Jack Catterall? Who the hell's Jack Catterall? Ready for this baptism time? Absolutely. Let's get this screen big so I can read what you all are saying. He says he was definitely on that booger sugar. What's up, bro? Oh, definitely. Oh, let me go back up. Sorry. Let me get you guys in the room. Ain't this the second signing this year? He just got off the phone with the Saudis. Danny last year. Hey, listen. It's on the doorstep. It's in your living room. It's through the letterbox. It's round the corner. It's over the hills. Round the bend. Eddie on the doormat. HEARN. And on the doormat it says BS. They all knew exactly what was going on, arbitration or not. They made assurances to the other side. Jokes, the lot of them. Oh dear. Did you see Andre Ward's face? No, I didn't. What was his face like? He knew, but he was given assurances. We call this. We damn well called it, watcher. We damn well called it. And all those people have said that when this happened, would all go missing and go hiding and start turning the stories around. Where are they today? Where's your sources? I'm going to ask every single one of you who was talking about sources, reliable sources. Where are your reliable sources? Bring them. Come on, tell me. Reliable sources. People went as far as to say that arbitration would have no influence in it. But these are the same people that turn around. They don't know. These are the same people that if White went to the WBC and took legal action against them, they wouldn't do anything. They don't know what they're talking about, man. They don't know what they're talking about. They thought entitlement and complexion would prevail. It didn't. Good. And I'm glad Deontay Wilder did it. Bob and Fury was playing games to get back at him for the Tiffy Lopa bid. Oh, probably, yeah. I don't know which Fury he was talking to. Maybe he was talking to Tommy Fury. Or maybe he was talking to Hughie Fury. Because he wasn't Tyson Fury. Rackman Lewis moment, I think so. Quite possibly. So why did Fury announce a done deal? You can't have a go at one side and not the other. Ah, well, I did. Nobody wants to see Wilder get beat again. He's only got a puncher's chance. Yeah, well, he's one of the greatest punchers in heavyweight history. So that's like saying, well, you know what? George Foreman versus Ali too. Well, he's only got a puncher's chance. He's only one of the greatest punchers in heavyweight boxing. Bro, sometimes you got to take that stuff and you got to look at it for what it is. He had a puncher's chance then, but he's improved. You can see the improvements. I don't know. I don't agree this just got a puncher's chance. Because if Wilder was just a puncher, Ortiz should have beaten him. For all the skill set Ortiz has. Set Ortiz up beautifully. Yes, I can understand why they were trying to play down the importance of arbitration. Smash the like button. Yeah, smash the like button, you please. Please do smash the like button. Appreciate it. Eddie's a hypocrite. When Ruiz wanted to fight Wilder for undisputed title, Eddie was ready to sue him, but dismissed Wilder's contract. Forget Eddie, man. Eddie doesn't sue. It's fish eyes. He sued more fighters than I've had hot dinners. Well, I'll tell you something. I don't know how anyone can trust anything Eddie Hearn says. I don't know how they can trust him. And you know what? Not good for business. Go on, Ingram, says JR. Thank you, son. I want to know who managed telling Joshua about arbitration. Were they transparent with him? Man, listen, if Anthony Joshua did not know what was going on, he had Chisora, who knew, Usyk's team knew, Eddie Hearn probably knew. Come on. And I think they knew that Usyk was up. I think they knew Usyk they were going to fight Usyk. And I think what they've done now is do it in such a way, well, we were trying to get the Tyson Fury fight, but it wasn't our fault because Tyson went into arbitration. We want to fight. He didn't want it. So we have to now fight our mandatory, which is Alexander Usyk. You see how that plays out? It kind of like, it pacifies boxing fans. It's like, and then Joshua can come out and say, yeah, well, I wanted to fight Joshua. I want to fight Fury, you know what I mean? I want to fight Fury. But you know how it goes. You know how it goes. And it makes Joshua look like he wanted to fight and he was already in guns blazing and blah, 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 blah. And Fury was the fraud and Fury was the guy stalling everything, right? And boxing fans will buy that crap. Sorry, boxing fanatics will buy that crap. Boxing fans will sit back and go, yeah, but you knew arbitration was going all along. You knew that. And Eddie knew that. So it's just Eddie marketing the Usyk fight. That's what I see. He's marketing the Usyk fight. I've been going around the world, I've been doing this and the other. And he's saying, well, the fight can't happen at Wembley. So if the fight couldn't happen, if the Joshua Fury fight couldn't happen at Wembley, which is a bigger fight than Usyk versus Joshua, how the hell now is he telling us, we can get the fight at Wembley? Like Usyk's a big household name. Really? Come on, man. Please don't take me for a fool. Please don't take me for a fool. He got beat twice. So what? Does that mean because he got beat twice that the contract must be ended? That's not how a trilogy works. That's never been how a trilogy works. Marco Antonio Barrera and what's his name? And Eric Morales fought. One got beat. Well, they came back and fought again, didn't they? I don't understand that. I'm sorry, Michael. Mitchell, I don't agree with that mentality. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. Major Fool says Eddie was using the undisputed speculation to promote all his fights he's put over the previous months for clickbait. There you go. That's it. That's what it is. And boxing fanatics love it. You got to do the third fight. Of course, you got to do the fight. It's in the contract, and everyone knew at the beginning there was a 3-fight deal. So what you're going on about is nonsense. If you agree to Fury versus Joshua before Fury versus Wilder, you are as corrupt as the cabal that is there. Don't talk boxing with me. Don't talk about robberies in boxing. Don't talk to me about clean up the sport of boxing when you are just as bad as the corrupt, right? So don't talk to me about boxing. Don't, please. Nonsense. If Fury lost the second, they want the trilogy. These fans, shake my head. If Fury gets absolutely sparked by Wilder, what's going to happen then? It's the end. It's a trilogy, okay? So if Fury were to get beat by Wilder in this third fight, it's the end. Trilogy. 3. 1, 2, 3. Not 4, not 5. 3-fight deal. So if Fury loses this fight, that's it. And if he gets knocked out cold, that's it. Because Wilder can say, why do I need to fight him again? I knocked him out cold. I did what no other man did, and I took his undefeated record, and I won back my belt. So what? There will be no Fury, Wilder 3, 4, unless Wilder wants it. Do you understand? I don't. Well, I tell you, July 24th is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And I think it's going to have a dramatic ending. A real dramatic ending. It would sell out Allegiant Stadium. Great venue. Of course it would. Makes what adjustment? Throws an overhand right and gets lucky. It's a bloody farce. Yeah, it's a farce. Corrupt. Mitchell, you're corrupt. That's as simple as that. You are a part of the corruption. You accept corruption. Let's just hope in your life that you don't have any contracts in place for anything that suddenly gets snapped on you because somebody's got more money than you, more power than you, more control than you. Never want that, because what you're doing here, what you want for a man, for one man you don't even know, you wouldn't want for yourself. And that, I can't live by that code. I'm sorry. T-Mobile, apparently, yeah, it's T-Mobile Arena. I do understand it's that. T-Mobile would be good, but Aaron is cheap. He won't go to stadium. Yeah, because Aaron's already said he's made losses on Fury. Exactly, BWTM. Patterson versus Johansson too. Yes, legendary fights. People making comebacks and putting the record right. I'm pretty sure Johansson was the odds-on favourite. Probably was. Tried to say take step aside. He didn't. He didn't with Vlad. Oh, there you go. He's being trained by Malik Squat. He literally trained a world champion for a man who never did squat. But what did Mourinho do as a footballer? What did Sir Alex Ferguson do as a footballer? What did Emmanuel Stewart do as a fighter? How many world titles did Eddie Renaso win? Just wondering. They are fair weather fans. If Wilder wins, they'll jump all over his side. Of course they will. They'll say, oh, he's the greatest fighter of all time. 19 months ago. There you go. That's the last time Fury fought. Wow. And Wilder. Same fans who said Breland needed to be gone after the loss, before the loss. God. Fury said in the second fight, Wilder almost had him in the first round. Whoa. There you go. There you go. People without integrity, morals, and ethics are the main people that want Fury not to honour his contract. Of course they are. And they're full of them in the sport of boxing. Michael Blazar was Ben Davidson a champion. Josh is undisputed now. Good point. No way was that height. Wilder had no legs from the start. He wasn't going to hurt anybody that night. Yep, totally. Don't talk about Ben Davidson, please. Josh Taylor's a special talent. He's a special talent. Josh is greater than AJ. Quite possibly. Bob Sanders, Fury said this fact, and it is a fact. He did say it. Taylor will be remembered for decades now, just in the form of a pub quiz question. It's true, though. It's true. Malik is no trainer. Well, I don't know what you've been looking at, but from what I've seen of Deontay Wilder, he certainly seems a better fighter than and you know, Malik Scott has also been a guy that's worked with Uncle James Allen Bashir as well. So he really picked up some good tips along the way. Malik Scott, if you look at Malik Scott, look at the fighters he's been around. He's been in Dillian White's corner. He's been in Dillian White's camp. He's been in quite a few heavyweight camps. So he picked up a thing or two and being experienced heavyweight himself. Don't underestimate. At first, I was like, Malik Scott. But in the two videos I've seen of Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder have been more impressive than the crap that Wilder was doing before under the other team. That's what it seems like to me. And that's visual. Also, Ronnie Shields was not a good fighter that he changed Charlo. Thank you very much. He completely outclassed Ramirez. He's a legend. Yeah, of course. He's achieved more than AJ. He has. Josh Taylor, probably the best British fighter, and he'll continue to do more. If he beats Bud, he's going to be great. Yeah. Bud better hurry up on whatever he's doing because he's not getting any younger. Has Josh Taylor beaten 5 undefeated fighters in a row? Who beat 5 undefeated fighters in a row? And what was the caliber of those 5 undefeated fighters? That was just to big up Wilder. Deontay had no legs. He had nothing. He was nothing like the first fight. He'll come in healthy this time and win. That's what I believe. Jack Catterall, yeah. That uppercut was so impressive. Okay. Taylor has to defend against Catterall. I don't want to see that fight. What's the source, Andre? Hey, you still got nerve to talk about source. The source is Eddie Hearn. Go to Eddie Hearn, man. Source. It's hot sauce. That's what sauce it is. I don't ever want to hear one more week ever. Mate. Yeah. Next week we'll have an announcement. Next week we've got a big announcement. Next week we've got great announcement. It's just on the doorstep. It's just round the corner. It's with the milkman. It's with the postman. I sent it in the mail. I sent it by DHL. I sent it by Royal Mail. I tell you, you're going to get it tomorrow. It should be there tomorrow. There will be an announcement. I'm going to tell you a great announcement, a great thing of an announcement of a very fantastic thing. That's, it's unbelievable what I've got. I spoke to him and he's happy. And I spoke to him and I was wondering because I didn't know if he really wanted the fight. But I know he wants it. And look, I spoke to him. I spoke to the postman. He said he's going to deliver it, but he hasn't delivered it yet. But he will deliver it. Just a bit of traffic, it happens. But I expect to hear something soon. I've been traveling all around Dubai and all around the Middle East. And I've been talking to many people and many different things, different fights. Of course, nothing to do with Fury versus Joshua. But it's going to happen next week, the end of next week. There will be an announcement that there's no fight. Oh, sorry. Didn't know there was no fight can happen. Didn't know about the arbitration. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. It's a shame because Josh was all ready, but life goes on. Alexander Usyk, the mandatory, the number one contender, just come off a great win against Derek Chisora. No, he didn't. And Alexander Usyk is the man to beat in the heavyweight division. No, he's not. And anyway, it's a great fight for Joshua. Stars make fights. It's a fantastic fight. Former undisputed cruiserweight champion against the current heavyweight champion of the world. Why not? You know, it's a great. Here's another line. Why should you watch Usyk versus Joshua? Well, Usyk's never been beaten. At least we know with the Deontay fight with Tyson. Tyson's beaten him twice already. But with this fight with Joshua, of course, never been beat Usyk. Never, you know, as a professional, he's beaten everyone who's been put in front of him. Former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. Now is his shot to become heavyweight champion of the world. And Josh is raring to go because he's been in training and he's been pent up with rage. And you're going to see the best Anthony Joshua because he really wanted to give it to Tyson Fury. So he's going to take it on Alexander Usyk. I can tell you what he's going to damn well say. I can tell you what he's going to say. I should be a damn promoter. Oh, gosh. Look, Eddie tried to get an extension for the Usyk fight. Might be one more week again, mate. Yeah, well, listen, wasn't this the same Mike that was telling us that Fury versus Joshua was going to be made? Listen, they're all part of the same cabal. All of them media outlets, all the same. All of them are the same. They're all bought and paid for it by the promoters. I'm telling you, they're all the same. They're all the same. Why didn't he come out, Mr. Mike Coppinger, whatever his name is? Why didn't he come out and say, listen, there is going to be no Fury versus Joshua fight because Wilder's in arbitration. It's not going to happen. Why did he come out and say that? Why wasn't he brave like BWTM Sports and say, Deontay Wilder is definitely fighting Tyson Fury next? Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he say that? I don't want to hear more of these jokers. They're all clowns, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let's see what's next. Do you think that ref was awful in the Taylor fight? I don't know. To be honest with you. I think Wilder is right. Kenny Bayless comes in drunk. He's clueless. AJ could have done his homework, but he plays dumb, so he won't catch the public's heat. AJ with Fury tried to let boxing down, but Fury did. What's your thoughts on Josh Taylor? Like I said, probably the greatest British fighter we've got on these shores at the moment. Good morning. Great morning to you, Denise. My love to you. Hope you're well. Tagfest says, fighters have to abide and honor contracts. So should promoters. Amen. Wilder looked way off in the second fight. Third fight will be different. I know. And these boxing fans, these boxing fanatics are going to get the shock of their lives. The absolute shock of their lives. I am actually worried for Tyson Fury. I was worried about him for the second fight. But obviously Wilder wasn't right that night. But I'm worried about him now. I'm worried about Tyson. AJ must be jealous of Josh stealing the undisputed title before him. LOL. Well, he might have the best promoter in the world, but he's not got the smartest one. That's for sure. Deontay Wilder is going to destroy Tyson Fury in this fight. I think so too. I think a lot of people are feeling that. I wonder if Wilder will inject the cheating allegations into the promotion of Wilder 3. It's going to come in. It's got to happen in the press conference at some point. Game over. That's what it'll be. It'll be back in the day when you had the slot machines and you put your money in and you played the game and you got beat and you were trying to put money in and you found you had no money left in the pocket. That's what it's going to be like for the Fury Wilder Fury fight, I think. Always been curious. How do you beat a guy like Fury in your opinion? I think you go to the body. Fury, people don't go to Fury's body. And if you look at the round 9 of the first fight of the Fury fight with Wilder, and I was commentating, I think round 8, round 9, Wilder started doing more work to the body and Fury started slowing up. He's got to work the body. Got to work the body against Fury. Got to work Fury. And Fury's a very nervous starter. So I think Wilder's got to jump on Fury from bell one. Jump on him. Literally jump on him. He needs to. Wilder has to be more aggressive. Push Fury onto back foot. There we go. If Fury gets onto the front foot, pushing Wilder back a second fight, it's going to be a long night for him. Yep. Ingram. Does Fury and Wilder meet each other in the center of the ring? Wilder beats Fury in the center of the ring. Fury's not going to want to engage. He's not going to want to. He's going to want to diffuse Wilder at the start. I don't believe Fury's going to want to engage with Wilder in this fight. And if he does, he gets himself knocked out quick. He's going to want to. He doesn't want to shoot out. He needs to back up and get out of there. And hope that Wilder's the same as the second fight. I'm a true believer in Glovegate. Yeah, well, like I said before, I believe things in that second fight was not on the up. But I believe in the third fight, none of that crap's going to happen. Not this time. Like the video, guys. Fury will KO Wilder. Wilder will KO Fury. So people are feeling it. The only way Fury loses is if he's too cocky. Or he gets nailed by a big right hand from Wilder. What's Fury been doing in the past year? Good question. Fury is the weirdest muffin top. Cheating allegations, libelous. Wilder is lucky Fury hasn't sued. There's zero proof. Here we go again. If there was zero proof, Mr. Mitchell, if there was zero proof, Mr. Fury's in America. He could have sued Wilder, and the money he sued to sue Wilder, he could have got himself out of the contract with Wilder, paid himself out of the contract, more than enough money because it was slanderous, and he could have moved on and fought Joshua. So this is another one of these statements. You're one of the people, I'm afraid to say, that, look, deal with it. Wilder Fury 3 is happening. That's it. Deal with it. I agree. People never throw to the body for some reason. Let Fury not take the fight. You'll see you soon. I heard a story that it was around 180 million pounds that, not dollars, pounds that Fury would have to pay. And I also heard, obviously, when Tyson Fury tells you it's 20 million, it makes, again, Wilder look idiotic. If he says it's 80 million, right, that makes people think, 80 million? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Why didn't you take the third fight? Why didn't you take the third fight? And why is nobody asking the question, what happened to the expired contract? All those people who talk about expired contract, would you like to go back and ask them now, why is it that Wilder's have been able to stop Fury from fighting since the last time they fought, and now he's going to fight Fury again on an expired contract? I heard nobody talking about expired contract. I heard very few people coming in the room and saying, you know what, BWTM Sports, fair play to you, you got it right. But I know if Fury and Joshua had fought, I'd be getting ribbed on this channel. Yeah, I think Malik Scott does help. I think he does help. Well, you can just see. You can just see by the guy. You can stop. You can see. You can see by his training. Somebody said bags don't hit back, but that doesn't work with a guy who's had 40 plus fights. Neither has a good resume. I would say Fury's slightly better. The only real quality opponent they face is Klitschko. Do you think Wilder should come in heavier? I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see what a heavier Wilder looks like with his legs under him. But he was heavier for the second fight, and he was pushed around. But, like I said, his feet weren't under him. Wilder stopped Fury, AJ, Joyce, and Usyk from fight. Yes, he did. I told people, Wilder's got Joshua Fury by the balls. He's got Fury by the balls. He's in control of the heavyweight division. You know how powerful that is to have control of the heavyweight division, to stop the heavyweight division from moving forward, to stop an undisputed fight. That Hearn, Warren, and Aaron, those three men combined, could not stop. Does not tell you how powerful that contract was? And the man behind that contract was probably Al Heyman. Power, man. Power. I said, don't mess with Al Heyman. I keep telling you all that. if he'd sued and been in court for 2 years, probably lose more money than he'd win in fees and loss of earnings. Mate, listen. You were the one that was pushing for Wilder and Fury versus Joshua. I told you about the legal system. About the legal system in America. So I suggest you stop with that talk, that nonsense talk. Stop it. It don't make a difference. Fact is, Wilder versus Fury 3 is happening. You might not like it. Tough. Deal with it. Luis Ortiz is one of the most overrated heavyweights in boxing history. Well, I've said it. I've said it over and over and over again. And I'm going to share this with you yet again. I'm going to repeat myself. If you watch a young fighter's career being stalled and you see they're not fighting guys who can punch, that's a sure sign something's gone wrong in the gym. And they're hiding a fighter. I'm not mentioning any names, but if you look at a young fighter who's not fighting punches and should be getting fast-tracked and isn't, something's gone wrong in the gym. Usually punch resistance isn't that good and they're a bit chinny. So they've invested in a fighter whose chin isn't as good as advertised. And so they have to maneuver the fighter. I said this about Luis Ortiz a long time ago. People said, oh, Luis Ortiz is this and that. I said, when he meets a puncher, you'll see what Luis Ortiz is. And you saw it. Not once, but twice. But like I said, a lot of things I say, people kind of look at, laugh at, and move on with. But I will be bringing on Coach Chris back to BWTM Sports because he has a lot to say. And it was Coach Chris that broke the news to us. I'm not mentioning no names. God. I didn't say the name, but it is what it is. Listen, I'm coming to an end. I just want to say thank you all for watching BWTM Sports. Don't forget you can watch us via our app, BWTM Online. You go www.bwtmonline.com, and right there, if you go there, you'll get to see all our latest videos. Put this up for you there. There you go. You look at our latest videos, all the stuff that's going on, and you can download the app there as well. Luis Ortiz is over for 45, but we told you that already. We told you that before people told you in the press. We knew that because we had the Southpaw heavyweight boxer, I can't remember his name again. He broke the story to us, and then that went out into the news afterwards. Why is smarter than people give credit? The cheating allegations will come out in the future because I believe that the allegation raised arbitration part of the favourable ruling. Absolutely. So you go. Download the app so you don't have to keep on being on YouTube. You go to BWTM Online right now. Check out our online store as well. So support the channel. Right, I am out of here. And just finally, Manny Pacquiao fighting Errol Spence. Okay. The retirement fight for Manny Pacquiao. I hope he gives us all he can in that fight. I think it's a fascinating fight. I remember you saying that about Price back in the day before he got beat. I also said Price could become a world champion if he's managed correctly. Yeah, I keep talking about Joshua Buatsi. It's like I've got something against him. I've got nothing against the brother, but I just think that, you know, I just the overrating bit, just too overrated, just typical. A lot of matchroom fighters are overrated, to be honest, but That's another discussion for another day. Before I go, I do want to talk about this very, very quickly. How I would map the heavyweight division from now, yeah? I would have Fury fight Wilder, Joshua fight Usyk, Dillian White fight Trevor Bryan, or Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz and Joe Joyce versus Trevor Bryan. Those are the fights I would like to see in the heavyweight division now. Joyce can go on to become a heavyweight champion of the world, beating Trevor Bryan. Dillian White can fight Andy Ruiz because he's got so much to say about him. Joshua will fight Usyk. The winner should fight the winner of Andy Ruiz and Dillian White. And Wilder fights Fury. Whitesy hired a defensive coach. I wonder why. There you go. The clues are starting to add up. Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter. Don't know. May Herkovich. Let him fight Herkovich. White wants Ariola. What the hell do you want to fight Ariola for? I'm out here. Thank you all for watching. This has been BWTM Sports. Thanks again. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and if you comment, share the video. I'm out.